Hello, we are live. David Lemon here for Groove LemonAid number 57. We are very, very close to the number 60, and that will make me happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back from the extended holidays that were in the United States. I am far away from United States, but I still took a couple days because I just needed that. So we were instructed to take some time off during this Thursday, Friday, and the weekend that was passed, and this was probably not a good idea because this was the Black Friday weekend, and when you have time when you're not focused on things, then what you do, you go shopping, and that's what I did. And what does David Lemon buy? David Lemon buys software. So that's one of my pet peeves. But anyway, everybody has their own positives and negatives, right? So what we are doing today is answering some of your negatives, and hopefully I'm going to give you positives. So in case you have any questions, feel free to ask them inside the comment section of this live stream. We do have a couple of people already watching us, so welcome guys, it's good to have you here. I do have a comment on here, Anti-God saying especially a lifetime deal donkey. That's me. Yeah. So yeah, there was a couple of interesting things happening last week with Groove. We didn't have a Q&A on Friday, so I'm going to update you on everything that happened since then. Then we're going to go into the Q&A. So starting with the updates first, we had a couple of interesting features added inside GroovePages, and we added some improvements and fixes as well. I woke up this morning to a couple of messages from people that some of the text editing functionalities were not working, and that was due to an update that we did yesterday evening while I was sleeping. And then we got that fixed pretty quickly. So if you are asking, or if you're wondering what's with that, the text issues have been fixed and all is good now. So let me just there will be a full-on announcement. I'm just going to kind of share some of the stuff that went live with you guys. And there is a couple of interesting things that actually went live, and let me just show you. So I'm going to log into my Groove account on here. And one of the things that makes me super happy, because this was something that I wanted, and it was done finally. And yeah, so let's log into GroovePages. I'm going to show you some of the things that that were added. So the thing that makes me happy is when you are adding in a video player, which is nothing fancy. You add in a video player and you click over here to the configurations of this, and there's an option that I wanted for loading the thumbnail first. Okay, so this helps in SEO and it helps with page load speed. So let's just say that we decide we want this image to be selected, and then we can also put up a play button on it. And then once we click update, you'll see that we have the actual play button. We can also select a color. Let's just put in some nice green color and click the update button. And now we actually have a video that is covered by an image thumbnail. So it looks like this whenever you actually load the page. The page will load much faster now because it's not actually loading the video player. It loads as an image. So you click that play button and then it loads the actual video. Which is great. It's not fancy technology. It's basically just a switch, but I haven't seen this functionality built in to other platforms that I used previously. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. You can see that it does, but it was not a built-in functionality. People were doing custom CSS to achieve that. Now it's built in, and I really love it because it does a couple of different things. It makes it faster for the viewers to actually see your site. It will load faster on mobile pages, and the second thing that is more important, that you can customize this. You can upload an image, which is going to be like click here or something like showing to the play button, and you can also write or type text above your head and do kind of different custom click here or something buttons, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's it. There is a couple of different button designs. I really like the button number 3. It's simplistic. It's a bit more rounded. It's a bit more funky, and yeah, have a look, play with it. It's pretty interesting, and I really like it. So let's just see. We didn't have a lot of improvements since last week. We did have the mega menu and the new pop-ups that I'm going to be doing an announcement. There wasn't an announcement for that because there were still some things that needed corrections, and I didn't want to make it, yeah, it's available, but it doesn't fully work as we want it yet. So now we're going to make it live and announced. Also, a thing that people were asking for quite often is to bring back the code option for the blocks, and now we also added them onto the pop-ups as well. So when you're doing any kind of coding or any kind of uh, design that you need to go into the code, now you have them on the pop-ups as well, so you can go in and then tinker with the code. This is not for the newbies. This is for those people who really understand what it is, what they are doing actually. I need to mention the free users will not have this this functionality. If you can see the actual source code button on the top of the builder, on the top of the page, then you will also see the actual source code button for the blocks and the pop-ups. If you don't see them, then unfortunately that means that you didn't upgrade yet, and you should upgrade. Let's just see. Okay, yeah, there was a bug that was fixed in certain cases. When you were setting up a GrooveMail form, oops, let me just go to the actual page on here. When you went to when you added a GrooveMail form, and a lot of people reported that. That's just why I'm mentioning it. When you added a GrooveMail form, for example here, and you wanted to redirect over from the form to a page, the page URL got jumbled up. It was not looking nice when you actually filled out the GrooveMail form and then it redirected it. It got it showed a 404 error because the URL wasn't correct. So now that has been fixed. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically it for some of these more popular things. We did a couple of more fixes like cloning of the funnels and things like that. There were a couple of issues. I'm going to mention them in the announcement. GrooveSell got a new thing as well, which I think it's interesting, and that's going to make things easier for those people that are running affiliate promos. So let me just jump over here and actually go in. Okay, so what we did is we added an option to calculate commission after removing the processing fee. Okay, so the processing fee for transaction or payment gateways is normally 2.8, 2.9, which varies. If you go to PayPal pricing, they are quite expensive. So let me just see over here, PayPal fees. They really sneakily hide a lot of things, buying and selling cryptocurrencies. They make it like a maze. But here, pricing, let's just see, 3.4, 4.9 plus 0.49 per transaction. There's also Stripe fees. There's also authorized net fees and other things. And you don't necessarily want to pay out all those, basically all the amount to your affiliate. So this option was added to actually provide a little bit more nicer payouts for the affiliates. please make sure you enter the processing fee for the gateways here for accurate calculation of processing fee. So here you can enter the actual processing fees that you're paying, and then you should not pay those for the affiliates. So that's basically for GrooveSell. There is a lot more coming. We are working on a bit more functionalities and UI changes for partner contracts. There is also the tax being worked on, that we will have tax jar. That's the first thing that's getting implemented within the next couple of days. And then we are also working on manual tax settings. Let me see. There was also something else that I just forgot. But yes, I'm going to remember it. I'm going to tell you about that. GroovePages. Oh yeah, Groove Video. I don't have anything to show you, but Groove Video is getting some changes for the code. The actual video players will load a bit faster, and they will be more. They will be getting responsive a bit better. We are doing some changes to that, and that's going to be available within the next couple of days. A lot of changes are being done on GrooveWebinar. We are going to get it ready to be like almost 99% done by the end of this week, or so not this week, by the end of this month. Which I mean end of this month, not today, but the December. We are integrating it with GrooveMail. We're doing some new SMS and email campaign changes in there. We're integrating integrations and automations. We're making sure that the actual moderators screen in GrooveWebinar Automated is fully set up. The chats are loading nicely, that you can add in your chats and things like that. There are a couple of issues with that we found, so that's being fixed. And yeah, that's basically it. All right. So to answer the questions that came in first, I'm going to go over to the Facebook comments on here and answer these. Hi David Lemon, is Facebook server-side conversion API already implemented? The same goes for Google. We desperately need this feature after iOS 14 privacy update. Alvin, we don't have that. We'll need to look into what this means for our dev tasks. We do have a lot of things that need to be done on priority. We'll just need to see where this fits in. Rajiv has a question. When will GroovePay be accepting Indian rupees? If not in near future, any alternative which will transfer payment to our account within 1 or 2 days? Rajiv, GroovePay already accepts Indian rupees. You can register and basically accept Indian rupees. There's a caveat with Indian payment, like people that register for GroovePay from India. Let me just come to this side. So when you register for GroovePay, you can only accept Indian rupees, and that's it. In order to accept US dollars, you would need to have a company registered in the US. That's how it works. So in case you would like to use GroovePay and charge Indian rupees, that's already available. May has a question over here. Thanks so much for these Q&As. I watch them weekly religiously. Perfect. Thank you very much. You're an amazing teacher. Thank you very much, May. One little request. Could you please pin these David plans to go live messages to the top in Facebook? I regularly struggle to find them and need to scroll down for a long time to read and submit questions. Absolutely, May. I understand. However, Facebook is really hard to keep track of. Every time I would pin the actual schedule, it wouldn't show up at the top. It would sometimes show over here, but most of the time it just gets hidden somewhere over here as well. I don't know how it works. The Facebook did some changes, but even though if I pin it, it sometimes not shows up over here. It may be a Facebook bug or something. Or my suggestion is, whenever you have any kind of question, and I go live at regular time intervals. I go live at at the same time at noon Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays and Fridays. The easiest way to track that is when you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe and ring this notification bell. This way you will get notified when I go live. When you see, for example, a scheduled live, you can also drop in your comments here. So you don't necessarily need to wait for the actual session to go live. I will be able to see your questions here. If you still want to do it on Facebook, unfortunately, you can click on my name and find the actual post that way. This would be the easiest method I could suggest, because Facebook is doing still some changes, and pin posts don't stay pinned. And if I don't pin it, then it's going to get lost in the sea of other questions. All right, I can see here questions. We're going to get to those very shortly. Let me just answer these. One big request: could you do a butterfly marketing build challenge one time? I love your previous challenges and I love the butterfly concept. Thank you so much for all you do. My pleasure, May. The butterfly marketing is not something that I came up with, so I don't really want to kind of steal the fame. I know that I'm working for the guy or with the guy that created butterfly marketing, but it's just not my thing to teach unless I'm asked to teach it. So any type of butterfly marketing training, I'm going to only do the software side of things. I don't want to do trainings on butterfly marketing because I respect the creator and Mike Filsame that created this concept, and nobody could teach it better than him. And I just don't think I'm the person that would be best suited to teach the concepts. I would be able to point you in the right direction how to set it up, but that's just about it. So any kind of butterfly marketing, if it's not done from Mike, I'm just going to do short answers on how to set it up. But there was a butterfly marketing setup, and you can learn this butterfly marketing concept and how to set it up. If you are an upgraded member, you get access to the fast start to the Mike's funnels masterclass. So if you go to funnelsmasterclass.groovemember.net, this is a membership that you should have access to, and here you will be able to actually find the butterfly marketing concept being taught by Mike, and then I created the actual funnel behind the actual in the training. So if you log into Funnels Masterclass with your details, that you should have received an email with your details, go to Mike Filsame's advanced training, and then you'll find here viral marketing, butterfly marketing mini course. That's the latest and the only butterfly marketing that was done. And I don't want to, as I mentioned, I respect the creator, and that's not something I want to kind of teach because it's not mine. But if you want to learn how to do it, you can just have a look through the timestamps, and we actually go over creating a butterfly product funnel over here at 1 hour 43. So if we come in here 1 hour 43, somewhere around, then you're going to see me actually on the camera. Look at this guy. You'll see me actually pointing you to the right direction, setting up a product, connecting it to pages, and then explaining the whole concept. But that's the place where I would send you to learn butterfly marketing. At this moment, my challenges are kind of detailed, but I don't plan to do a butterfly marketing concept unless I'm asked. So yeah, that's basically it. Hi, David Lemon. This is from Manny Charles. I have a brand new domain and I will be pointing the site to Groove DNS. Does Groove not allow subdirectory instead of subdomains? And can you show how it's done via Groove app, like for example, google.com/blog? You can set that up. Your primary domain needs to be connected. So the domain needs to be connected to Groove, and then you need to select as the primary app needs to be GroovePages. Okay. In that case, the GroovePages will be handling, in your case, google.com is going to be the domain where you publish your pages from GroovePages. If you want /blog, then you basically go into GrooveBlog and set up a folder publishing in there. Let me just show you very quickly. So if we go over to GrooveBlog, once we connected the domain to the Groove account, and once we selected the primary app to be GroovePages, in that case, you actually just need to do a very simple step. Go into GrooveBlog, go to settings, domains, and then select this option here. This is the third option, which is publish to a folder, domain.com/blog. Okay, you select your domain over here. You select if you want a root or not, or a subdomain. So you could have something.yourdomain.com/blog, or you could also have yourdomain.com/blog. And then you just select what you want to call it: blog, podcast, recipes, or something like that. You basically set it up for yourself, and then you click save. That's it. You go over to your blog post, publish, and you are done with that, sir. Let me just explain the concept that I mentioned. You need to connect a domain and select GroovePages as the primary app. So whenever you add a domain and then it gets actually approved, or it gets kind of added into the account, you will see a big pink button over here instead of these icons. You'll see a big button which says select your primary app. And in that drop down, you'll need to select GroovePages. GroovePages will be publishing pages to the root domain, so the root of your domain. So if you have, I don't know, manycharles.com, then select GroovePages, and this will allow you to have a GrooveBlog added to manycharles.com/blog. So that's the setup you need to do. Let's move on to the next question. I also have several subdomains that I will be creating so that I can install software that I purchased outside of Groove. This way, the user does not see the URL from the other developer, and my software will be my own, kind of like Groove Apps. Okay. The other software offers CNAME mapping. Cool. If I point my main domain DNS, for example, google.com to Groove DNS, can you show me how do I point the subdomain only from Groove's dashboard to the other software providers DNS app.google.com? Perfect. That's very simple to do. That way, some of the domain and directory point to Groove DNS and some of the subdomains outside of Groove. Thank you in advance. No problem. So many Charles, have a look at this. I have grooveassist.com, and this is my domain. If I want to create a subdomain that is not connected to Groove, that I will be using somewhere else, it's basically as simple as don't touch over here. You'll be tempted to go in and then select create a subdomain, add new subdomain.grooveassist.com. These will be connected immediately to the app, so you don't use that. In case you want to create a subdomain, use them elsewhere outside the Groove ecosystem, then you go into DNS settings and you just create a record, which is a CNAME record, and you click and you type in the subdomain. So if you want app.yourdomain.com, you type in app over here. If you want get.yourdomain.com, then you type in get. Okay? So I'm going to go with the example that you gave, like app, and then over here you point over to the CNAME that platform provides you. So the CNAME may look like something like what we had previously, host10.groovepages.com, and then that's basically it. So you click save, and now you created a CNAME that is going to be taking the app section. So if somebody types in app.yourdomain.com, it's going to be pointing to that CNAME. So that's basically all you have to do. So let's just see. All right, it may take some time to actually show up here, but that's basically all you need to do, and then it should be connected. You click update, and you have now created a subdomain that will be pointing over to that CNAME that the company gave you. All right, Brian Dunn, if you didn't already cover in your updates, what is the latest status on webinars? It's stable enough that I could use it for real. Also, are things still looking good for a possible release of GrooveMember version 2 around December 10? GrooveMember version 2 at this moment, that's the latest update I have, December 10th. We will have a meeting for a demo of all of the updates that were done for GrooveMember version 2 this week, and then I'm going to have more information. But so far, December 10th is the latest info that I got. On next Friday's Q&A, I'll be able to provide more updated info. Well, for webinars, we are, as I mentioned, we are connecting GrooveMail integrations and automations so that you can do different tagging and basically do actions based on certain scenarios. And that's basically missing. There is a couple more bugs in GrooveWebinar, but at this moment, the only issue is that GrooveMail is not connected yet to GrooveWebinar. That's something that is being worked on, actually, because for GrooveWebinars, you are asking people to register, and then when somebody registers, the actual emails wouldn't be sent to lists at this moment. The GrooveMail connection is needed for that, and we will do it in kind of a one bundle to connect GrooveMail and automations and sending of the emails and things like that. So that's still missing, but otherwise you can set up your webinars and test them out. So once the GrooveMail integration is done, you'll be able to make those live. All right, hopefully that answers some of these questions that you guys had. Let me just jump into the questions of the live stream. Let's just see. I love you, David. Thank you very much. Tabish, I love you too. Link, good morning, David from British Columbia. Good morning to you, Link. Manny Charles, God bless you, David. Me too, I purchased so many softwares. Yup, I know the feeling. It's my first time watching live. Lucy, it's good to have you here. Learning with Eric, been spending the last 4 days getting lifetime deals, hard drive getting full. Yeah, I know the feeling. Hard drive getting full, credit cards getting low. With credit, I mean. Hi, David. Glad to be able to attend the QA today. Mina, it's good to have you here. It may not be fancy, but it's hella groovy. Well done and much needed. Dex, I believe that's for the thumbnails. Thank you very much. Already using the video thumbnails. Perfect, says Anti-God or Anti-God. Not sure how to pronounce it, but there we go. Hi, David and everybody that's online. Love the pop-ups. Yup, they're cool. Why can't we change the text in the pop-up templates? You can. It's basically just click and change. Let me just double check to make sure that everything. There was an issue today for editing text. Let me just see if that's still happening. It shouldn't be, but I may be wrong. Let's just create a pop-up over here real quick and see if that's so. Yes, I cannot type test. Change the button text. This is my button test. And then let me just check the form field, for example. Okay, hello. All right, so seems that everything is working. Please double check if you're still having issues. There was an issue for changing the text or clicking on the text element this morning. That has been fixed as soon as we found out. Please just log out, do a hard reload. I'm going to show you how to do it. Basically, you log out, do right click, go to inspect, click and hold the actual reload button and choose the option empty cache and hard reload. This one over here, the last one. So once you did that, it's going to kind of reload Groove, load in the newest code, and once you log back, it should be all good. All right. Don't we get notifications when someone signs in? Someone signed up a few days ago and I did not receive notification. Where did it go? I'm not sure. Way out. Check your spam folder or see in your dashboard. We didn't change anything with that workflow. Hey David, I haven't been on here in a while. Do we still have to use SMTP to do email marketing, or is GrooveMail back on track with its own SMTP? We still are using external SMTPs. GrooveMail SMTP is being tested. When I make a background for a video website, the template has a space at the bottom I want to erase. Can you show us how? The template has a space at the bottom I want to erase. I don't think it's the video background. I think it may be the template. So please share what template are you using, or just reach out to support and they would be able to look into this one for you. I don't know what actually you are using or who you are. PayPal is a bit expensive. Yes, absolutely. For HTML, is lifetime member that have the option? Yes, Jose. So everybody that paid for an upgrade, either just GroovePages Pro or GrooveFunnels lifetime option, should see the actual code on the pop-ups, blocks, and also the site. It also be nice to be able to resize with mouse. Don't have that option. We do have that option, Jose. It's not on all of the elements, like text elements, but we do have the resizing options on buttons and images and certain other elements, videos, for example. Let me just show you. So here we click on this one, and if you click over here to this resize and spacing options, you'll get these dots on the corners of the on the corners of the elements. So this is for images, for videos, so you can resize the actual. Okay, so this cannot go past the container, but you can see you can resize. Similar with buttons. Let me just show you. Just click on the sizing and spacing options, and then you can resize the button with this. This does not resize the text, however, it resizes the content, basically the button. Let's see over here. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. So we have this image of this lady. I'm going to click the spacing and the sizing button here on the canvas, and then we can resize and then do certain things with that. So we do have that option. You can use that. It's all out already for some time. All right. On calculating processing fee before paying affiliates, does it do it automatically for us in using GroovePay? Yes, you just need to type in. Also, for using GroovePay, that I would need to double check. That, but GroovePay is telling you how much is the transaction fee on the website. So you can just type in the transaction fee and everything, and it's going to be calculated as for any other payment gateway. Hey David, good to see you again. You mentioned GrooveKart 2.0. What changes are coming for this? Sorry if he's already been through this. I didn't mention GrooveKart 2.0. We are not doing any kind of new version of GrooveKart. We're improving GrooveKart, what we have right now. There was a version 1 that was changed in 2020. That's the new version of GrooveKart, and that's basically the pink version. Let's just call it that way. There is the new version is the pink version, and the other version was the blue and gray version. So you should be only able to see the new GrooveKart. On top of the GrooveKart, what we have now, we will be having more updates, and that is more updates towards the product side of things, on kind of products that you can import from print on demand and things like that, drop shipping and things like that. So we have a new product owner of GrooveKart. His name is Frank Salinas. And oh, by the way, if you haven't seen that, there's a very cool video in the Facebook group. Let me just double check if it is still here. So I'm just going to look for Frank Salinas. He shared this video over here. You can have a look, and a couple more. Basically, he went out there and visit a person that we are going to be working with for a company, Icon Ecom in Missouri. So you can have a look. This is in the Facebook group, by the way. So if you look for Icon Ecom, they do all sorts of different products that are going to be available very soon. But the cool thing with this is that you can provide personalized items like Bible covers and tumblers and beer mugs and whatnot. So it's basically being created in the US. It's being shipped from the US, so it's a high quality product, and also the shipping is going to be fast. It's going to be integrated with GrooveKart soon, and you can create, for example, I just want to drink wine and rescue cats. Okay, you create a design like this, and the word wine you change to something different. I just want to drink milk and rescue cats. I just want to drink something and rescue something. You can create these personalized things so that you create the design, you pop it on your store, and inside the store users will be able to create their own slogans, for example. So it's very cool. You can have a look at these videos that Frank shared. He actually went inside the factory, and they're showing how they are printing t-shirts and how they're doing these products, which is pretty cool. So have a look, follow Frank. He's going to also have a video today. He's going to come on live and talk about this, and also other stuff related to GrooveKart. So he's taking kind of the, let's just call it a Dave Lemon role of GrooveKart specifically, and I'm going to be doing the rest of the app. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's about it. Is GrooveMail integrated with forms? GrooveMail has GrooveMail forms, and that's basically the forms for GrooveMail. We also have automations that, in case you go to GrooveMail and you go to automations, you can set up automations that if somebody filled out a GrooveMail form, then send the leads to an integration like MailChimp, for example. So you can use GrooveMail forms. You can create a GrooveMail form and take a code and embed it on your GroovePages site or WordPress or any other page builder, really. But what you can do is, if you're using GroovePages for your page builder, there is an element called GrooveMail form element. So you drag that in, you design your form how you want it, and then it's basically going to be connected to your forms within GrooveMail. When I make a background video for a website, the template has a space underneath. I want to get rid. I tried the space is still there. Can you help? I actually answered that. I don't know what template you're using, so please share info on that. In membership customization, there's 2 rows of courses. You can only add blocks below this. I want to include a text block above these first 2 rows. Is it possible to move the blocks around? I don't really understand what you mean. Please record a short video about what you want to do. Just use Loom or any kind of recording for screen, and see if you can explain it. Have a look. Have a look at the other platforms that provide this screen recording. Create a short video for us, and then add it into the feedback portal where you're requesting features. We'll be able to look into it more there. On the code editing within blocks, is that the way we're supposed to specify the size of images for SEO? Not sure what you mean. Specify the size of images. Drew, when you're creating your images, when you're uploading them, like that's one of the things. You can control it manually before you uploaded the image. You can also control the image aspects and resizing the image within GroovePages image library. But I don't really know what you're planning to do. Whatever you manage within the code, that's just something you can do already with a builder in GroovePages. So not sure what exactly you're looking for. Etienne GrooveStream and GrooveWebinar. GrooveWebinar Automated is already out in sandbox mode. For GrooveStream and GrooveWebinar, that's going to be next year. I do not have a clear ETA. Does GroovePay accept Pakistani currency? I have a potential affiliate that works from there. Drew, you'll need to look into the blog post that we wrote about GroovePay or just go and try and apply. There is a blog post, and let me see. GroovePay. Let me see if I can find a blog post. Here we go. It's on Google. Best merchant services for online businesses, and then here is this GroovePay. There is a full-on blog post written about how GroovePay works and what countries are supported. You mentioned Pakistan. Pakistan is not on this list, so at this moment we don't have that. Is GrooveMail integrated with forms? I actually answered that question. GrooveBlog. Dave, thanks for the weekly Q&A sessions. I currently use a domain folder in my custom domain/blog for all my blogs and posts, and that works great. Can I also set up one or more subdomains at the same time for unique blog subjects that I want to keep separate from the other categories for blog1.domain, blog2.domain, etc., or at least one blog.domain and one domain for such blog at the same time, or is that not possible? So you can set up separate blogs, like a blog called Apple. You can publish on a subdomain, so apple.domain.com, and you can have another blog called Orange, and you can have domain.com/orange. That's something that you can do, if that's what you're asking me. You could also have orange.domain.com, and you can have apple.domain.com, and the domain.com being the same for the Apple and the Orange, if that's what you're asking, if I understand correctly. The basic blog template is great start in template side panel. Can you take 2 minutes to show us how to include or substitute a category list of posts instead of just a list of the most popular posts? This is template related. There is no way to do that right now. It just shows the popular post. We'll have more control over these things later on. For now, we just want to get the access out so that you can have editors for your blog. What currencies does GroovePay support in Latin America? Type in GroovePay and find this post, okay? Type in GroovePay, and one of the posts over here for groovefunnels.com/blog. Best merchant services for online business, GrooveFunnels. There is a full-on, let me just hide this comment. There is a full-on blog post with all the Q&As, what is a merchant account, what bank sponsor merchant account, what are the perks of using GroovePay, what countries are supported, what's the difference between GroovePay, PayPal, or Stripe. Will my GroovePay account ever be unexpectedly shut down? What are GroovePay application requirements? Why is my GroovePay application taking so long? Do I have to apply for merchant account for every store? Can I apply for GroovePay merchant processing account if I have a bad credit? Who can I contact for support and things like that? So these are the FAQs. We answered them in this blog post. It is easily found in Google, and you can have a look. I'm going to share it very quickly here for you. And also in the comments of the live stream, if I can find. Hopefully you can see it here. Okie dokie, let me just come back to this screen and answer more of your questions. Why can't we change the text on pop-up templates? You can. I actually did a test for that just a couple minutes ago. For HTML, is lifetime member have that option? Yes. Hello, David. Francine here. Always a pleasure to join in your sessions. Hey, Francine, good to have you here. I can see Eduardo is also here. Hi, David. I hope you and your family are okay. Thank you very much, Eduardo. We are doing good. Can I show links to my latest blog posts on GroovePages, such as the right side of a blog? You would need to set them up specifically to look like that. So it's not something that will update automatically. We don't have kind of a sidebar that updates when you publish a blog post, but you can create a 2-column element. One column will be so let's just show it like this. One column will be the larger one, and the other column will be the smaller one. And the smaller one, you can have links lined up, but that needs to be manually set up. It's not kind of a widget. Hey David, custom fields for GrooveSell checkouts. Can we specify both required and not required fields? Also, can we have a different set of custom fields per price points? Thanks. Both of these have been asked already, and both of these are good ideas, and both of these are set to be done at this moment. They were just not fully prioritized. So Kevin, if you could go into our feature request portal and upvote that. I believe it's already there. In order to get that done faster. I asked for that myself as well, so hopefully we'll see that soon. Do you recommend using Groove to host the custom domain, or do you prefer to use Cloudflare still? Very good question, Ivan. I do use both versions, and I'm going to explain you in what case I use which. I use a lot of softwares, me being a software junkie. And in certain cases, I don't want to kind of tie in Groove into any of the other softwares. So in those cases, I use directly Cloudflare. For example, I have a WordPress website that is a directory website that is kind of a two-face directory. I sell kind of listings, so people can come onto my site and create a listing, and then kind of sell their information. And then on the other side, visitors can come and find those listings and then do certain actions with those. Similar to Airbnb, for example. You can have visitors come and find apartments, but you can have also apartment owners come and provide their apartments. So long story short, in that case, I don't want to tie that project in with Groove, and I want to keep that domain separate, but still on Cloudflare, because it's the kick-ass platform that can do all sorts of magical stuff for your domain. In that case, I use specifically Cloudflare. In case I have a WordPress site, or I have a different site that I want to kind of merge with some of the options with Groove. For example, if I have a website on a different platform, but I want to use GrooveMember, then I'm going to just add the domain into Groove and let Groove handle all of that connection, because it's going to be easier for me to manage. It provides me the same functionalities. It's on one place. So you can do both options as I am. You can set up either one or the other and go with that, and you will be basically happy with any of these. If you are a starter, not specifically to answer Ivan's question anymore, if you are starting out and you don't know how to manage domains, and if you think you will need help in certain cases, then go with Groove, because in that case we can help you out. I can have our support team, our devs, and even myself in certain cases go in there and then look into it, help you out, and help you not only with your website publishing and things like that, but also help you set up your domain. We wouldn't be able to do that if the domain would be hosted or pointed to Cloudflare. Wow, David, you nailed it. You explained exactly what I needed to know. You show and tell are marvelous. Thank you. Question: do you have any new developments for agency? At this moment, not many, Charles. At this moment, as I mentioned in the past, the first phase is to create the user roles and permissions, and then after that, we're going to be tackling the agency. For now, we're still doing the necessary work for one person to manage the different aspects of one account in Groove, so that you can have designers and VAs and whatnot come in, and then you set up, this person will have access to this and this, but not to this and this, and that needs to get done first in order to have the agency as the next phase. A great job, David, from Michael. Thank you very much, Michael. When GrooveStream comes out, will we be able to offer something where we can have others stream from our account? Basically, teachers stream to their own online class. That's not the goal of our platform. We want you to be able to provide services for yourself, but if you will have clients, they will need to have their own systems. That's the goal, and that's why we have this kick-ass affiliate program as well. And the limits will be very, very poor if you do that, because there will be limits for streaming. There will be limits for different things. GrooveStream will be great, but it's not created so that one person can buy it and then provide with this one account access to the clients and to everybody to use it. That's not the intention of us creating this kind of Groove accounts with lifetime options. But GrooveStream is being planned out as a major platform. Like, when I say major platforms, I mean GrooveSell and GroovePages level platform that we want to focus and promote directly to our users. And we will have also a specific login page and things like that for GrooveStream, because it's going to be big, and we want to go in and compete in the streaming industry. And GrooveStream is going to need to have kind of its own assets set up. So when GrooveStream comes out, it's going to be big, and you will not want to share your account with anyone. That's how good it will be. Can GrooveMember version 1 and version 2 be in the same portal? I have existing membership sites, and I'm hoping to have new version 2 sites to remain in the same portal. You can, I believe, at this moment, you can have that, yes. When can I assign a team member access to Groove? I was just talking about that right now. We are developing the functionality. It's going to be called user roles and permissions. When will we circle back to the importer working properly? Next year. That's not on the to-do list for this year, but we want to have it done. I was so tempted to purchase Converter or Black Friday, but they are too expensive. Maybe we can offer with watermark. It's a lot of server things that we need to tackle, and we need to kind of have our best guys on that. And at this moment, with the functionalities that we already set out to do as a priority, at this moment, the importer is not something that we want to focus on. We will have a great importer, and we will circle back to it, and most probably before March, we will have the importer working well. But that's a next year project for sure. Is the imminent mega menu the reason why the drop down menu isn't working well in GroovePages? But the first link is hidden behind the element on the page. That's being fixed. It's not the mega menu. It's a layering system that we added into the backgrounds. So now we have a layer system so that you can do patterns and images and videos and colors. So all of these layers need to be stacked on top of each other, and that's basically causing some other elements to kind of shift. That's already being worked on. Would love some fancy fonts added. You can use CSS for that one. Any of the fancy Google fonts that you like, or any other online fonts that can provide a CSS, you can already add in there. At this moment, we do integrate with Google Fonts. We don't provide all the fonts that they have, but the most major ones that are easily imported. Can you move it left or right? I believe this is for when I was showing the options to kind of drag things around, and you cannot move things on the canvas when you click it, if that's what you mean. But I do not know what this is fully related to. For the image on the video, can we use animated GIF? Yes, you can. Hi, David. Will you please share again how to access my butterfly marketing training? I don't see it in Groove Digital Academy. Is that the correct area? Guy, that's not the correct area. That was that is not in the Groove Digital Academy. Groove Digital Academy is something that's everybody has access to. Mike's funnel masterclass is only for the upgraded members. That's a bonus that we are giving away to everybody that upgrades. And if you go to funnelsmasterclass.groovemember.net, this is where you can log in, and you should have received your login info to your email. Just search for funnels masterclass in your emails. You should find it. If you haven't upgraded, okay, if you're a paid member, if you are a paid member and you cannot find it, try to forget your password, and then this way you'll be able to get in. If you cannot get in this way either, and you're still or you're a paid member, please reach out to our support team. They would be able to assist, but try yourself. Funnelsmasterclass.groovemember.net. I have received an update from Groove support that in GroovePages navigation menu sublinks are not working in mobile view, and it's a bug they're working on. Any idea when this will be resolved? I literally just found out that yesterday, so most probably from you. I developed a website without knowing about this bug and now need it fixed. Any update is greatly. I really just heard it most probably from you just yesterday, and we already provided the details to our devs, and they'll be working on. Hi David, you're doing great. Would you recommend adding Zapier? Thanks in advance. Zapier is good and it can help. For sure, but it's pretty expensive. So there are other tools that you could use, but at this moment, Zapier is the only one that is fully integrated with our system for GrooveMail and GrooveSell and GroovePages and GrooveMember. So I do recommend using Zapier in case you are not familiar with webhooks. If you're familiar with webhooks, or you actually went through some of the trainings, either from me or from the other Groovesters, you know how to use webhooks. There are other platforms that can do similar things like Zapier, but much cheaper, like Integrately, Connects, Pabbly, Integromat. Um, there's a couple others that I just cannot remember the names right now, but doesn't matter. They're all much cheaper and most probably provide better, like more for the money that you pay. I just got invited to upload my list to GrooveMail. I currently use ConvertKit, and that houses my big list. Is it safe for me to fully move over to GrooveMail now, or would you wait? I have imported lists that were around 15,000 people, and one of those were just yesterday. Let me just actually check how many people was on this list. I am assisting a couple of our partners that we work with, and this list has 25,451 people on it. So I imported that yesterday, and it was done beautifully. I really thought that it's not going to go as smooth. It went beautifully. So the leads are now in GrooveMail, and they are ready to be contacted and sent emails. From that perspective, I think GrooveMail is ready. There needs to be more testing, and that's why it is in sandbox. GrooveMail imports just came out last week, and some people didn't even get access to it yet, so it needs testing. So I would suggest starting slow. If you have kind of a closed community, some sort of a mastermind or a community of a couple hundred or thousand people that you can rest assured that in case you have something get messed up, that they won't be kind of causing issues in your business or to you. I would start with that for sure. Like, even though I work for Groove, and even though I assist our customers and our VIPs and partners, and who and everybody really, I would go slow. I would do tests and just scale up from that. It's a new platform. It's a new tool. It can go wrong, and it will go wrong. Even with the other stable platforms, it will go wrong as we go and do more updates and improvements. So yeah, that's just my recommendation. I would, and I am starting with GrooveMail. I'm just starting slowly, and that's what I suggest to everybody else. Oh, right. Or I should say I got invited to upload my leads. No, we are changing it to contacts. Um, we're going to be calling it contacts. So import contacts. At this moment, we call it lead import, but it's not leads because people may have purchased already, so they may not be leads anymore. So we're going to rename all of that into contacts. For browsers to load images quickly and generate the initial representation of web page, it helps specify the dimensions of the image. How to do this using the block code access? Drew, that's beyond me. I don't know how to do this coding stuff. Specify dimensions of the image. I don't even know. I don't know. Unfortunately, you would probably need to ask in the Facebook community. I'm not the best person to answer these coding questions. Right. How do you create a free plus shipping offer in GrooveKart for print on demand product? Omar, great question. I would highly suggest to keep this question. There will be a Q&A starting shortly, and let me actually double check if it has been already scheduled. There's going to be a Q&A today with Frank Salinas. He's taking charge of GrooveKart, and he's going to go specifically into GrooveKart and explain everything. Frank Salinas is the new product owner. I'm going to be doing an announcement about that very shortly. And he is taking charge of GrooveKart and everything that goes along with that. So the new updates, improvements, feature requests, integration requests. He will go out there, and he actually did that. And communicate with people to create integrations with us and provide products and just kick-ass features. Along with that, he's going to be doing online training, because he is an e-commerce guy. He did a couple $1 million with his e-commerce stores previously, and he just has that in his little finger. So I would suggest wait a couple of hours, or I don't even really know exactly when he will go live. I believe at 7 p.m. Eastern. No, sorry. Let me just double check. Hey, Frank. Frank, when are you going live today? Be going live very shortly today, and then he'll be able to point you into the right direction. The import function in GroovePages is working, because I try to use it and it always give me an error. Can you show it? The import functionality needs work on it. It doesn't work well, Eduardo. David, question: can GrooveProof widget can be used outside the Groove ecosystem? Yes. Second, what do you think if we can have a feature request for retrofit GrooveProof to also stream reviews from sites like Amazon, Yelp, or Google My Business? David, Sprague Software has a similar product streaming Google My Business, but would love to stay with anything Groove. That's a feature request that I wouldn't be able to tell you yes or no. I think it's a cool feature, but it just needs to be seen how many people actually want that. Personally, I think even if you are selling on Google My Business and on Yelp, the purchase will happen through GrooveSell, because that's the software. Amazon, it's a different story. I do not know how that software works. We'll need to look. I'll need to have a look into it. But the sales will happen with Groove, and that's how the actual information can get triggered. Everything else needs to kind of get integrated with some softwares that we just don't have plans for right now. Will Groove get integrated with IFTTT? IFTTT, there's an F missing from this, is a platform, just to explain to everybody that may not know, IFTTT is a platform called If This Then That. It's kind of an automation builder that you may have heard about, IFTTT, and it kind of connects things together. So yeah, basically, it's written out here. IFTTT is one of the things that we wanted to integrate with along with Zapier and Publy and Integrately, and it's going to come. It's basically on our to-do list, but it's not on a high priority right now. Zdravo, David from Sunny Vegas, just joining in. Question: did you already cover how we operate layers? If not, would you please? Layers are something that covers the background, Darcy. So it's explaining the actual background section of your GroovePages style editor. So when you click over here, it's explained here. So every layering system starts with a background color or a background overlay. Then you can have patterns on that background video and then background image. So that's basically the way it works. Sorry, I went about it the wrong way. So the first thing is image, and then background video, patterns, and then background color being on top. So this means that if, for example, you set up a background image, this is going to load very, very fast. Okay. On top of that, you can create a background video that may load a little bit slower. And then on top of the video, you can have patterns. And you can set up patterns, like for example this one, make it opaque and things like that. And then on top of everything, you can have a color that's going to make it a little bit more darker. So this is the layering system that we added. It's explained in this little section over here. So on the top, you can have background color and the color overlay and the opacity of the color. Patterns are next, background video is below that, and background image is below that. This is how this layering system works, which is pretty cool. All right, let me just see where I stopped with the questions. I missed the questions right now. Can you please recommend any templates from GroovePages or whatever that can be used to build an eye doctor website? Any template can build an eye doctor website. It just depends on how much time you want to invest in creating it. Let's just have a look very quickly and explore what our options are. So I'm going to share my screen over here, and I'm going to start a new site first. So when you start a new site, you can have single pages, you can have complete sites, and in the complete sites we do have, for example, natural remedies subscription. This is for subscription. Six-figure coach, real estate plumber website, digital agency website. So these are the options that are with multiple pages. You can have also look at the funnels and how they look like. It depends what you want to actually create, what type of information you want to provide. You may find also some things that you can kind of hook up through the single pages, because we have single pages created in a way that you can mix them and match them. For example, there is a chiropractor consultation page. Could you, instead of actually mentioning chiropractor, just mention eye doctor or something else and have a similar layout? Of course you can. You put in images of the services, the issues that you're treating, about the clinic and things like that, and basically hook it up with the next step. What comes after somebody made an appointment? Do you want to send them to an offer page? Do you want to send them to a thank you page? So this is where you can select the next page. There is a dentist over here and the dentist schedule. So I believe there is also a dentist template. So dentist schedule template, dentist thank you template, and you can use that and basically create a version for your specific niche. Please just look through these and find the use case that you want. Don't look at the design itself. Look at the use case, because the use case is the most important. In case you're looking for something like a doctor, for example, a dentist template would match your need. And this is a dentist template. As you can see, it can be easily changed to an eye doctor, for example, just changing the images, changing the icons over here, and writing copy that matches the actual needs of the niche. Can a barbershop template be converted to an eye doctor? Of course it could. It just requires a bit more structuring if that's what you want. So there's not a specific template for each and every niche in the world, but think of the higher perspective. What's the goal? What do I want to achieve? Do I want them to sign up for my mailing list? Then you would select something that has an email form on it. If you want to sell, then have something that actually sells. If you want to kind of do something else, then find a template that matches that. That's how to think about templates. Never look for, oh my god, I don't like this image, so I'm not going to use this template. That's just the wrong way to go about that. Is there a simple way to find out which container element is past margin, which makes the screen wiggle mobile? There's no easy way to do it. You would need to just click through um, and see. Most of the times when you add spacing on the sides, it causes the actual side scroll. Where can I see the latest timeline of Groove feature rollouts? In your dashboard, Drew. If you just log in, click on the bell icon. Everybody should have the same. Over here, if you click on this one, you'll see the updates and the rollouts. All right, let's just move on to the next question. Can we create gradient background colors? Not at this moment. What I suggest is to create a gradient, save it as an image, and then upload it. This is what we use ourselves currently. These gradients are something we want to have. Also, from these funky, creative things, we want to also have what's it called, those dividers, the cool dividers that you can have the different sections and then have waves, have a block, and then on top and bottom have waves or some square looking thingies that separate the page. It's cool, not really necessary, but it's creative. So we'll be probably adding that in next year. But gradients is also something that we want, not only in GroovePages but in other sections as well. Like, for example, text. How cool that would be if you could set up text gradient color or a button gradient. This would be super cool. Importing leads. What if you don't have a username for the domain entered to the import list for the email confirmation step? Just set up a website that you have. Set up an email for the website that you have. Hi David, I would like to know if it is possible to integrate the conversion tag from Pinterest on GrooveKart. Integrate the conversion tag from Pinterest to GrooveKart because there is no extension allowing us to do it except Google Tag. It's not built in, but you can just copy paste the actual pixel settings from Pinterest into the site settings in GrooveKart, and that's basically it. It does not need integration. It's just copy pasting of the Pinterest pixels. And as Brian Dunn says, yes, you can already create gradients via CSS if you know CSS. There is also platforms that allow you to create CSS. Just type in CSS gradient generator or something like that, CSS gradient. There we go, cssgradient.io. You select what you want, and then it gives you at the end, so radial or linear, you can see it here. And at the end, it gives you kind of the CSS that you can use. You can copy it to clipboard and add it to the different elements that you have on your page. Our templates will not be using this because it's hard for the users to kind of manage. So that's about that. All right, that's the last question I have here. So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you have any more questions, please let me know. I did not receive a message from Frank about the live stream. Let me see if there's something added in here. Nope. So, I believe it is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not 100% sure, but I think that's going to happen. But yeah, there's a question: is Printful already integrated with GrooveKart? It is. Yes, you can use Printful already. Printful came out recently with shoes, so now you can also sell shoes with your designs, which makes it very, very cool. Shoes weren't available previously, and now Christmas coming up, you could actually create very easily some Christmas looking designs and just slap them onto shoes and sell those shoes through Printful and GrooveKart, which is pretty cool. Okie dokie, any more questions you have, guys? Going once, going twice. I'm going to allow some more time, not that fast. But yeah, that's about that. Thanks for another fabulous lemonade, David. Your sessions are always super valuable. Thank you very much, Gig Jig. I love the name Gig Jig. It's kind of a, I don't know what you are selling or what this is for, but Gig Jig is a very cool, memorable name for a kind of a, it associates, so it basically reminds me of something that you could kind of play with, like some sort of a puzzle. As you choose your ideal template, you may want a page in another template. You can save the blocks of that page to a new category, then drop them in a fresh page. Yes, absolutely. How are your kids? Thank you very much, Darcy. They're doing well, growing like potatoes. To say, my older kid is already going in the kindergarten. My other kid already eats like big boys, so they're doing good. Thank you. Is there any plans to integrate GroovePages Builder into GrooveKart? GroovePages Builder is already into GrooveKart. It's called GrooveKart Page Builder, or we also called it GroovePages for GrooveKart. It's basically the identical builder with some more functionalities that that you need to use for a store, but it's basically identical. The same source code is used for both builders. Who do you use for your hosting of websites not used with Groove? I do a couple of different versions of hosting. I use Cloudways, SiteGround, and some cheapo lifetime deal hosting that I use for software for testing purposes. If I find a theme or a plugin that I like, I'm going to upload them first on that cheap lifetime deal hosting that I'm not afraid to kind of lose or break. But I use Cloudways and SiteGround for the kind of the serious work that I have. David, thank you again for all you do. My pleasure, Guy. Thank you very much for being here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be wrapping up now because I'm not getting any more questions. We are going to be doing a new Q&A on Friday. So in case you have, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. Affiliate Strategies and Tools is asking, in case I missed, is Printful fully integrated? Answer is yes. So coming back on Friday at the same time, same place. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out to our support or ask in the community if the question is more of a recommendation or something that the community would be able to assist. And yeah, basically everything else you can ask me on Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time or 6 p.m. Central European Time, GMT +1 if you are wondering. That's it. Thank you very much. Hopefully see you on Friday, and until then, have a great rest of the week. See you guys.